All right, ladies and gents, welcome to a cast that is on the higher end of Lowy the Legends. Lowy the Legends cutoff is 1,000 elo. Many people around 900 elo are trying to get out of it. They're trying to avoid me on Tuesdays. Good luck with that. In the red, we have Nervous Pooper. That's right. This person got on the internet, said, what describes me the most? What can I think of that encapsulates me as a human being? So when I play online, it's associated with me and my gameplay. And we have Nervous Pooper here in the red. I'm sure Nervous Pooper's mother is proud. And then way down here in the blue, we've got Osborne. Osborne is, I don't know anything about Osborne's poops, which is probably for the better. Osborne is playing as the Italians. Now, I am going to do this real quick. Some people are going to say, no, don't do it, raw, and get real aggressive. I'm going to actually make the tree small. I think at 930 elo, I think at this point, like, these players have their hotkeys down. Some of them anyways. They've got some strategy down. They've got a decent amount of games under their belt. So much so that we even have the good luck, have fun, and the U2. These guys, they're Age of Empires regulars at this point, right? So with that, they probably don't have the big trees on. Anyways, let's talk about the map. The map here is... Wait, Nervous Pooper's a band? Osborne says great band, and Nervous Pooper says lol XD. Did anyone else know this was a band? Hold on. I promise I will cast the game. Nervous Pooper. Nervous Passenger. Nervous People. Nervous Pooper. Now, I can't play anything because of copyright, you know. There's a podcast that talks about a Nervous Pooper from March of 2021. He was making a YouTube joke. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Gosh, man. I didn't know. I get it because U2's a band. I was so focused on the pooper, okay? Don't get upset with me. Obviously, I know U2's a band. I'm just not quick-witted enough, all right? So anyways, Nervous Pooper, I just checked for those that were actually curious. Nervous Pooper is not a band. U2 is a band. It's a joke. Everyone thinks it's funny. We have African Clearing 1v1, 930 elo. I did not embarrass myself in front of many people on the internet. That's not me at all. And we have Italians versus Spanish. All right, so first things first. African Clearing, very difficult map. And I think this is a map where some players come into it with experience and others do not. I would make an argument that Nervous Pooper, who has picked Spanish here, is probably the player who favorited this, and that Osborne is probably like, what the crap is this? I don't know what to do. Because there's a clear difference between the starts. The main thing is you want to be collecting shorefish over the other resources because villagers collecting shorefish comes in faster than villagers on sheep or goats. And one of the better strategies is to go fast castle, and oftentimes that can be with a unique unit. So, what's one of the best unique units in the game? Conquistador. So my guess is Red has played this before. Red might have even creeped up to 930 elo, playing this map and surprising people who have very little clue on what to do. You don't have a scout, okay? So you can use some hunt maybe, or some herdables, I should say. Scout the map. It doesn't look like blue has any to do that. And blue is going to have to make some decisions here, and blue is really going to have to adapt. Another reason Spanish are strong is because Spanish build faster, so when you build your TC at the start, it's actually up, and you're creating villagers before the other person is, which leads to the Spanish player having a build lead like we see now. We will see what happens from here. Red, though, is smack dab here in the middle. Very centralized, which is an issue for wood because you've got these baobab trees. While they do have more wood on them, it just isn't as good as a proper wood line in the later stages. We'll see again what Osborne will do. I mean, in theory, if you go for Genoese crossbowman, the Italian unique unit is actually not bad against conquistadors. And I could be assuming an awful lot too. But listen, I get a lot of questions. T90. Why are you so stupid? Why did you not get that joke? T90. What's your favorite color? T90. What makes the difference between an 800 elo player and a 900 elo player? And I could tell you right now, it's the villager production. We have seen sub 30-second TC idle time here from blue and from red. And that's something we just don't see as much when you tack off or take off a couple hundred elo. So it really is just all the small things adding up in Age of Empires. There will be times where we'll talk about other things, I'm sure. But if you want to improve at the game, it's just it all starts with the Dark Age. So I'm impressed with both of them so far. I can say I agree with having that much on wood if you're red. But red, oh man, he's made a low elo mining camp. He's going to take some more shorefish. Actually, I think that was a pretty awkward mill, right? You've only got one shorefish on this side, which kind of sucks. Would have been better literally anywhere else, but still going to bring in some food in that way. Still has villagers over here bringing in food too. And again, my guess here is Fast Castle. Guys, are you hearing anything weird beyond my own voice? Are you hearing any like distortion or background audio issues? If you are, please let me know. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but if you didn't hear, my air conditioning broke yesterday, or there's an issue with it. Something's going on. And I have someone coming out tomorrow. But anyways, it's off. And so I have 3 fans on in here. And I have one now that's like more positioned on me because it is 89 degrees Fahrenheit in this office. That's not what the rest of the house is, thankfully. But the office always warms up and it's always an issue. So I'm like dying, basically. And you're good? Okay, good. I just want to make sure you guys didn't hear any weird distortion. Red does have a civ as well. Sorry, I meant to say blue. Something that blue civilization can do is go up to the next age at a discount. That's also really helpful if you're trying to go Fast Castle. It almost looks like maybe blue is going to consider a scout build here, though. It doesn't look like a Fast Castle attempt at all, as blue has rushed up rather early here and has a lot of villagers on wood. And if I had to guess, I would say blue is a player who plays a lot of standard land maps. Blue will probably try and transition this more into farms, more of the long-term normal stuff in a game. And then red has made mill number 4. Red also won't be able to go up. Honestly, this build order is now confusing me for red. Like, I thought with this mining camp that red wanted to take stone and gold. And I thought with this uptime that red would maybe try and go Fast Castle, but certainly doesn't have the resources just yet. Will blue remember a house? The answer is no. Blue did not remember to make a house, and so blue is now housed. Blue also is going double archer range, but didn't have any villagers on gold before. And I say this a lot about low elo. I feel like a lot of you guys, you're really solid up to making it to feudal age, and then it's like all hell breaks loose. Upgrades get forgotten. You know what to do to get to a certain stage, and then it's a lot of learning and adapting from there. And that's normal, by the way. But double range archers, not a bad plan with the Italians. And then here, I mean, I was way off with my prediction. We've actually got militia for red? And red is going to go scout with militia? Now, this is probably one of the worst strategies you can do in African clearing, because normally the TC is close to everything. Like, if you think about it from red's perspective, he's got wood, he's got food, wood and food all around the TC radius. So, I mean, there are going to be some things in other areas. But I think if you're going to do anything in feudal age, a scout rush might make a little more sense. I guess it does take a little more time for that, and these 2 militia are scouting. Red has located blue and is attacking that house and is still scouting around with this militia here. Will now lose the militia to the 2 archers. Now knows the opponent is going archers, which is beneficial. And this militia can only dodge for so long and now dies. Okay, what's the reaction for red? Well, red doesn't have the wood to do anything. Red, I mean, the gold count's just killing red right now. The gold count is just so off. 300 more gold than what's needed. That could be 300 more food. That would have been a good castle age time. Blue, meanwhile, going to take an elephant over here. This is actually, like, what I don't like about African clearing. So there's another map called Bedouins, which are used for tournaments. They created a map similar to that, the devs did, and just renamed it. Because they're like, this concept's cool, but we don't want to steal it, basically. And I just think they made it worse because the wood situation is so important on this map. And if we go back and look, I bet you red kind of started towards the middle. And blue probably had 2 villagers that were like relatively close to the edge. Like you can kind of tell he had one here, and he decided here. But anyways, like it really starts to hurt at this stage to not have wood is what I'm getting back to. And so that's the struggle for red. That said, blue hasn't created vills. Like blue has really had TC idle time problems here. 45 seconds of TC idle time for the nervous pooper. And 3.5 minutes for blue. Blue might have the jokes, but blue does not have the macro. That said, double archer range production is not something to be, not something to take lightly here. And this is an issue for the nervous pooper, who's probably crapping himself right now at this aggression. Does have the resources to go up to Castle Age. Is going to now drop a market, which I think will be the second building. And is going to have a lot of adapting to do, I would say, over the next couple minutes. Blue might have had the idle TC time, but blue's villagers are definitely working a lot more efficiently. Red not realizing that market and stable would do, so also added the blacksmith, and now we'll click up to castle. Now we'll click up to castle. Now Castle Age will come in. Now we'll see Castle Age. Click up the Castle Age, nervous pooper, man. You're killing yourself here. This is huge. Click up. Go up the whip. Thank you. No, okay, bought wood. I saw a notification. Like I said, like red's so close to the edge now, so it needs to prioritize the other wood line. You have the resources. You have the buildings. Go up to Castle Age, and yeah, woo. The nerves are real there. The nerves are real. Okay. Now blue is like, if you're in blue's position, you have to realize this person is not up. Or sorry, is up. And you're not. So you need to click up. That's something blue has done here. I really like everything blue has done, barring the, apart from the idle time. Nice little surround. I like to see this army search for damage. I like that. And you're thinking maybe the opponent's going to go Conquistadors because you haven't seen if they're on stone yet. But you also haven't seen if they're on gold yet, so you kind of have to look for that. And this is actually going to be a really interesting one here. I would have preferred to see red build a tower here. I feel like a tower here is necessary if you have no army right now. And red says, no, that's really not necessary. I'm going to fight with villagers. And it's not going to go so well for that guy. Red desperately wants to complete the stable. And this is not going to go so well for a lot of these villagers. They did get a kill, though. So there are positives to this situation. And blue isn't pulling the other archers over here. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I think we're going to see a red player use the market an awful lot here. Red is going to need knights to clear up these archers to have any chance in this game. But it is still possible. Red's got to get out of here now. There's more archers. This is manageable for red in the weirdest of ways. Okay. He's making a scout. Okay, cancels that. Makes knights. I like it. Now, we're talking... I want to talk tips because... And red's now realized it. Red's going to produce out of this stable. That's a big deal, right? You have 2 stables. You want to use that. And you want to engage before blue gets crossbow and before blue gets bodkin. So we see that now. And so blue's got to try and group his archers together now. And this is a really good game. Like, it hasn't been pretty. Obviously, there's been some mistakes here or there. But I think both players have found some reward. Gotta love knight pathing. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. And you see these knights engage in blue now. Didn't click bodkin arrow, which is a little sad. But there's not even an armor upgrade in for red. And red has really struggled for resources to make anything beyond this. Like, it looked like red could make 4 or 6 knights. And then wouldn't really have a whole lot else. And you should be thinking about one building in particular right now if you're red. We have not seen it. You could have thought about it immediately as well. And there it is, the siege workshop. Maybe red just had the confidence that that would have been enough. That those knights would have cleared it. But it did not. I don't hate the spearmen being added in. In fact, holy crap, 10 spearmen's insane. I don't hate that fact. At this point, blue knows kind of what they're facing up against here. So they feel like mixing in spearmen will also help out. But, you know, I think I would prefer to see eco upgrades over 10 more spearmen. That's just a personal preference. A lot of spearmen. Obviously, will take a lot of time. Those resources are caught up in the bank. Or, sorry, in the barracks. Red just drops a TC. And see, Red's like kind of okay if Red can find a safe gold spot. I think Red might TC this gold spot now. Okay. I wouldn't consider this safe, but you've got enough wood if you're Red where you could sell to get some siege and then maybe be alright. Okay, these villagers going to gold. I like it. These villagers looking for a good TC spot. I also like it. Nervous pooper. Nervous pooper. He might be nervous when he poops, but he's not nervous when he's attacked. He's made this look really good. Consistent problem for blue is idle TC time. If you're finding this is a problem for you, you either need to shift to being more aggressive so you kill faster, or a little less aggressive so you can macro. I hope that tip helps someone out there. Because that's a lot. 9.5 minutes of TC idle time is a lot to only get 2 villager kills. Or does he poop when he gets nervous? That's true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what comes first. The nervousness or the poop. Guys, if 12-year-old T90 knew, if 12-year-old me knew that at 29 years old, I would be quote-unquote at work talking about nervous poops, he would never have thought that it would be a video game commentator. If, like, that's my parents told me, like, well, son, we can see the future, and you're going to be dealing with a lot of nervous poop on April 12th of 2022. I would be like, what? I'm a nurse? And no offense, like, all my friends are nurses, and I know you guys, there's probably a lot of people in the healthcare field who deal with, you know, some of that nonsense from time to time. Not trying to disrespect you guys. I'm just saying it's not for me. Not for me. I'd prefer to talk about it. 42 villagers versus 36. We have a very even game here. We have a lot of market use from both players. Blue now getting the first eco upgrade of the game, has been behind by 4 eco upgrades. And this is why that temptation to mix in spearmen looks bad. Is because the siege can deal with the spearmen and the archers. This is going to be a problem for this army. The monks trying to heal it, guys. And everything's going to get rocked here. Now, converting a knight can be very helpful here because you can use that knight against the siege. So that's good. And in the end, it looks like Red is going to take some heavy losses as well. But I don't know if it was quite as expensive overall or quite as bad to the long term as it was for Blue here. That is with full attack, full armor, and did not seem to matter there for poor Blue. And this is, that's actually a really common thing that people struggle with, guys, is if someone goes knights and siege, they've already started to make pikes, and the siege handles that as well. So a lot of you might be thinking, well, what do you do? Well, one of the best things is crossbows and monk, because you can convert their knights and turn around and kill their siege. Or you could just go crossbow in your own siege. Or you can go crossbow in a stable, and then add a few knights, and then the knights take out the siege. That's probably actually the best play, but it does depend on your eco and a lot of other things. That was an incredible fight from Red. And great job from him to add the siege. And what I like about Red is he's making proper amounts of military, too. It's like, Blue showed up, and he didn't, like, commit to having his units in the same spot. God, man, Blue, with the classic panic, let's just sell all the resources we worked for and then buy stone for a castle, which is going to keep us alive but never win us the game. You know that type of castle? Oh, God, no, Red. Wait, Red is also buying a bunch of stone. What is up with you market users here? We'll see if this will be offensive or defensive. This could so easily be denied if Red knew about it. Red's going to drop a castle there. But yeah, like just enough knights, just enough upgrades, decent amount of siege. And this castle will go up for Red. Blue's castle should probably go up as well. But you're now protecting yourself in a spot where you're already really far behind. Obviously, Blue doesn't know this. Your best play, like when you lose your military force, is to play defensive, hold on till the late game. But from what we're seeing, granted, Red would have to execute. Red's economy has been looking stronger for some time. Now, the Genoese crossbow can be tricky, right? You know, if you make enough Genoese crossbowmen, suddenly the knights are looking much weaker. And I guess siege is still an option, but still, it's just not really that exciting if you start to see Genoese crossbowmen come out from the Italian player. And someone who I believe is a 900 elo player in my chat just says, how is this 900 elo XD? It is 900 elo because you, my friend, are probably 900 elo. And you just don't have me sitting there showing every little detail to tons of people when it happens. I know it hurts. It hurts to accept this fact. So many of you who are watching right now who are around 900 elo, maybe a bit above, maybe a bit below, and you're just like, there's no way this is 930 elo. All the people I play against, they play so much better. I play so much better. You might every once in a while. Maybe Blue's having an off game, maybe Red's having an off game, based on your opinion. But the reality is, you just don't have someone sitting there talking about every single little thing you do. And 900 elo is 900 elo for a reason. If they were better or worse than that, they would be ranked better or worse than that. You know nothing about my elo? I know enough. I know enough. Because every time I see those comments, it's always people who are around that elo. Now, guys, can we give Red some respect? Red is making freaking petards right now. Look at this. Red has 6 petards in the castle and has 7 more in queue. Red is going to petard down Blue's castle. That is an amazing play. Holy crap. Red's eco also still pretty good. I don't know what Blue's plan is here. Blue, I mean, Red has as well, but both players have used the market a lot here. Looks like Red also considering going up to the Imperial Age, which is definitely one of the best things you can do when you're in this type of position with a castle war. Now, if these petards fail, there's always a chance for Blue. Like, this is a lot of resources. Petards are not cheap. And Blue will have range units behind the castle and the castle itself. You need 8 petards to take out a castle. So what Red is doing correctly is making more than that, just in case a couple of them go down. I think a big problem for Blue, I see you talking about eco upgrades. If you go so long without eco upgrades, it just feels like you can never go back and start catching up on them. I think that was the problem for Blue, and now Blue's got another problem. Wait! Oh my god, guys! It didn't work. And Red might have a chance here. Or Blue might have a chance. Red obviously has a chance. But that was expensive. 500 HP on this castle. It can easily be repaired behind this. Blue's also going to drop another castle. Now, Blue will not be in the Imperial Age. And look at Red attacking with a petard. Rah! But, you know, that was some risky business there. Oh, can you imagine if Blue could somehow have, like, some siege support with the Genoese and run around Red's eco right now? Like, Red's so exposed. Or just not being here would be so important. Like, standing here for Blue, this is not how you're going to come back in this game. Red's going to... Oh, God. No, don't tell me Red throws this. Red, no! What are you doing? No! No, 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 no. He's like, T90 said, if you make forward castles, you should go for trebs. And you should win the treb war against really good counter unique units. T90 said this. T90 said that. He's like playing my voice in his ears right now. But this is so wasteful. This is so wasteful. And if this doesn't go up, Red. If this doesn't, it'll go up. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I take full credit for that move. Great castle spot. Because now you're going to have 2 trebs, hopefully. And then you can treb this down. Meanwhile, we've had Pavise for Blue. That gives the archers for the Italians extra armor. I don't mind Pavise as a whole. I just feel like this is a race to Imperial Age situation, so I wouldn't spend resources on that. First thing red does is go for trebs. If that was not Spanish, that castle would never have been close to going up. That was the Spanish build bonus right there in full effect. Now, I love the idea of going with skirms here. Red, for whatever reason, really loves the idea of going with knights. Maybe Red's thinking that he won't be able to make any more Genoese because the castles are going to go down, which is fair. Maybe Red's also thinking I can use mobility, which is also fair. But in closer games, I think it would be a problem. But holy. Remember, blue opened up very aggressively. Immediate double range. Decided to open up Feudal Age with no eco upgrades and lots of army. Found some reward for that army. But Red recovered. Red held on. And the eco has definitely kicked in for Red. The aggression from Red worked out. It was such an amazing fight with the Scorpions and with the Knights earlier. And we are going to see blue not only with problems with the long-term military, because I don't know what you're going to make now, but also with pop space. One of the worst things one of the worst feelings in the game is when you're already trying to do a bunch of stuff because you're worried, and then you lose your castles, and then you get pop blocked. Because you're already like, I need something now, and you're trying to do, get upgrades and do all these things, and then rip, you need 1 million houses, which is exactly what's about to happen to blue here. Really good position from Red. I love what Red has been able to do with the position. It feels like Red could still easily throw from this position and lose all the knights. But even still, how does blue ever damage Red? It's just not the correct move to make knights. Like, this is not the unit you want to make. So that's why there's a chance right now. Like, maybe Red doesn't have as much experience against the Genoese crossbow. He's like, their shields are on their back and I still can't kill them? It just doesn't make any sense. They don't even use their shields. What a dumb unit. Very true. We never talk about that. I guess, like, technically speaking, if this was realistic, you can't hit the Genoese from behind. It's a good choke point as well. Yep. Definitely a good choke point. Here are the panic houses I talked about. That'll take forever. Red loses his knights, and he says, let's go Cavalier. Okay. All right. Still going to make them, I guess. More stables. All right. Maybe it's about sending a message here. Maybe Red doesn't like archer ranges. I don't know. Blue is going to be housed again pretty soon. Let's see if a goat gets hit by a treb. There's a chance. This is important. There's a very small chance a missed treb shot will hit a goat. Okay, never mind. The goats are safe. Blue, still housed. Still under pressure. Still not enjoying life. Still probably thinking, why didn't I ban African clearing? Market now. Maybe to just buy resources to go up to imp out of this TC. I think that's the plan. But you can't counterattack now if you're blue. Because if you do, the Cavalier are going to run right into your base. You're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't get a counter in, you probably won't win. But you need protection at home. There we go. TC is up, and there goes blue on the way to the Imperial Age. Goats are safe. Archer ranges are going to start to go down. Here comes Red with Conquistadors. A good unit. Not great against Genoese, but still a good unit. Red probably a little confused right now. Red probably feeling as well like this game has been over for a bit. The KD itself is pretty close. The economy, though, is not close anymore. Blue hasn't had anything on food for a while. And Red has done a great job continuing to produce villagers behind the attack as well. Well, right now, Blue is thinking this guy keeps sending in cavalry against Genoese crossbow. So Blue's thinking that maybe that there's an opportunity here. It also could be that Blue is a little frustrated or overwhelmed and doesn't really realize how bad the situation is. I think Red needs to notice this stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff on the sides. Like, you really do want to make sure that the opponent can't escape here. And Blue's housed again. And actually, I think Blue loses this fight. There's, there's a Scorpion there, and there's a lot of conks. Blue won't be able to make any more. I think Blue will lose this fight. And I think Osborne is going to be forced to tap out. Yes, Genoese crossbowmen are good. Yes, the fight doesn't look too pretty for red. Probably the wrong unit choice, but it ends up working out. Blue will have nothing. I think we're about to see the GG. And yep, we do see the GG from Osborne. I'm trying to think about this game right now. Like, honestly, both players struggled with their execution of what they were trying to do. And so they both kind of stumbled their way towards Castle H, I would say. And red ultimately benefited from early castle and took it from there. I think, like, we could replay the early feudal situation like 10 different times, and I think this is 5-5 between these two. Like, I think red gets away with it. I think blue hits the gold a bit faster, kills a few more villagers, and then blue ends up being fine behind it. That's what I think. So it was actually a really close game. It ended up not being so close because of that really good fight for red. But congratulations to Nervous Pooper. Well played. I hope you guys could learn a little bit from that. I don't know. It's a lot harder for me to coach, I guess, like in 930. But, you know, blue, if you're not going to get your eco upgrades, my friend, you got to make sure that you're doing more damage is essentially what it comes down to. And what I'd be looking for with my archers, because he was sitting around with archers before the knights came out, is where's this person taking gold? Where's this person taking stone? And the gold was there. The gold income was enough for Nervous Pooper to make a little bit of siege and some knights to force things back in early Castle Age, because they had pretty similar Castle Age times. And the rest is history.